we didn't actually officially start this call. Should we officially start it now?
Okay, probably. Yeah.
Will I feel any different?
How is that different than what we're doing now?
I don't know. It just makes it official, like we've actually started it.
Yeah.
What did we call ourselves? The COVID crew is
It's
back
really,
again. And
really nice to see you guys, all of you.
I really had hoped we'd rename ourselves by now because
Marcel, you're looking very blurry, more than normal.
I am.
Is it
Why
your
is
camera?
that?
Are you on?
No, I think it's just not very bright in here. I'm not sure. So, yeah, I just moved, so I'm in a different environment, and I haven't figured out where to do my Zoom calls from yet. I got a green screen, but I haven't quite figured out the art of folding it to put it away yet. I actually have a really funny video of my son trying to figure out how to. Have you ever tried to refold one of those?
Oh yeah,
things?
those things you got to kind of twist
and you got to
get
twist
like the
and
windshield
bend at
things
the same
Yeah.
time. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was punching me in the face, popping back up and stuff. So I finally got my son to do it, and he has more patience than me, so he tried it about 12 times, and I recorded the whole thing. It was hilarious. But yeah, so that's what I
I like
need,
the
is a
phone
green
boxes
screen.
in the background in that picture though, Marcel. Very,
There
very
you
on
go.
UK brand.
There
Oh,
you
where'd
go.
Wiseman go? We upset Wiseman already. That's a new record.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Wiseman's
dropped.
visiting his new grandbaby.
And that's so exciting.
Yeah, he sent me a picture earlier of him and the kid's like this. And I said, what, did somebody just tell him you're his grandfather? Because he had this what the hell look on his face, right?
No, Wiseman just tried to sell him something.
Ah, that's funny. Yeah, right. Now, during COVID, you want to sell me something? Yeah, so I guess we should wait till he gets back on to officially.
Then we can officially start.
Then we can officially start.
Okay, while Wiseman's gone, everybody put on the monkey costumes.
That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Or if he came back and we all had blackface on. Although I know somebody would take a screenshot and bury the other three of us. So
Yeah, I mean,
one of you assholes.
there's all this stuff in Zoom now.
Oh,
What
that's
the
cool.
hell? How do you do all that stuff?
If you
But I
look
want to.
in where it says stop video, there's a thing that says choose virtual background, and in the virtual background thing, it's now backgrounds and filters.
Oh my goodness, this is bizarre. Oh, there we go.
There you go. That's what we should all be doing.
Ben, give yourself hair.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's that talented. Where's the martini one? There's fucking pizza, but there's no drinks.
Yeah, right. What the hell? This is bullshit, man.
This is useless. Who made this?
That's pretty funny. You guys are hilarious.
Oh wait, here.
I still can't even find it. Where the
I
hell
must
is
not
it?
have. I must not have updated Zoom. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't
You
either.
do, yeah, you do have to update Zoom.
Are you on Mac, John?
Yeah, it's just the latest version of Zoom. But yes, I am. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, this is entertaining. Not sort of maybe.
Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff. Now I'm pissed off.
Now we got to update. Let's restart and update now. Then we won't get
That's
our
it.
call back.
Featherstone's got some cool looks coming through here.
Right?
I don't even know what
I
that
think
is.
that
What
one
is
might be
that?
my favorite.
Oh, there you go. That's the one. What the heck, Ben?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like butterfly.
It's the story of my
tattoo.
life. I should just have this on every Zoom.
Yeah, now that I know I can do this, I just last week suspended our full company weekly updates because I ran out of shit to make up and say every week. And I wish I had known about this.
Yeah.
And you see, I was the victim of this, but this is my favorite one to put on occasion.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I got it.
That's funny. I see muted people. That's hilarious. Where the hell
Thank
is
you, John.
friggin' Wiseman? Is he coming back?
This is totally worth the price of admission here today.
Let me.
Oh,
text
Ben,
Sean.
I'm so happy I've given you hours of fruitless and non-productive distraction. Yeah. He says he's trying to resign.
Look
Yeah,
at
dude.
that. That is awesome.
I think he means resign. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it funny?
Awesome.
Isn't
I'm
it
so
funny
happy.
how the missing hyphen could change
that's
everything?
right.
Oh,
That's you, Ben.
Jesus Christ, Ben. Yeah, try doing like an investors meeting with that thing on your head.
I'm gonna. That's dude.
I'm a unicorn, fuckers.
Yeah. Everybody just froze, and I'm trying to resign. All right, whatever.
I'm trying to resign in. So maybe it's not us who froze, but it's you, right?
Anyway, so yeah, so everything's fucking great here.
Well,
2020 is
that's good.
awesome. Loving it, and hope it continues.
Hey, Marcel, how's the new site going, my friend? It looks super cool.
Really
Is it
good.
driving more business?
It is. Yeah, it's
That's so great.
It's bizarre how international it's become and how quickly. You know,
That's
it's
so
like
great.
almost every deal. I wouldn't say, I think it's, somebody gave me the statistic yesterday. It was like 66% of our deals or something. The buyer and seller are in different countries. And most of those are not the US, by the way. So like
I was about to say,
yesterday,
you motherfucker, you better not be bringing
No,
any of that shit over
no,
here.
yesterday,
Gray market. Yeah, he was trying to sell me a couple of MA3s the other day.
yesterday there was,
From España.
if I could, I would.
Of course you would. So would I. I would too, by the way.
Yesterday there was actually a deal from, the buyer was in Spain and the seller was in Singapore. And, you know, I mean, every day it's like those kinds of deals. So
I don't
thank
take a lot
God
of
for,
selfies. Hang on.
Hey, Marcel, I think there's an opportunity for you to get a ton of press about that. I think things like Fast Company would be all over that. The notion of you creating this online, you know, virtual business that is doing significant real volume internationally.
yeah,
I think there's
well, let me get to doing significant real volume first.
Okay.
You know,
Well, all right, significant pretend volume. Yeah.
I'm not collecting a paycheck yet.
Whoa.
Put it that way, so.
Where'd I go? Huh.
Ben, you got to stop getting wasted before the call. I don't know if we're going to get John back. Maybe we should just go without him. Or maybe this is it. Maybe this is who we've become. I can't take you guys seriously. I'm sorry.
I want to be the Hamburglar. Hang on. Can I be the? Is there some kind of Hamburglar?
I'm so happy I brought this much joy to Ben Salzman.
I could have updated my Zoom by now.
Yeah, that's what we should have been doing while these guys are having fun. That's hilarious.
Hey, Eric, I've been booking flights again. It's so exciting.
I know. Well, I booked that one for next month, and I was so excited to say, "Hey, I'm calling to book a flight."
Yeah,
like,
are you guys just booking flights and then calling back the next week and canceling them, or are you actually planning to go on
Well,
trips?
we're not actually leaving the airports. We're just going on airplanes, getting to the other end, walking 3 gates over, and getting back.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's Qatar and Emirates and Qantas doing these flights that don't go anywhere, where you get on the plane, a big international plane, and they fly for like 6 hours in a loop. They do a food service on the plane, and then it lands again at the same airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Dude, I read yesterday, Singapore Airlines.
That's one of them as well. You're right.
They're boarding people to sit on the fucking
and it's not
tarmac.
fucking going anywhere.
It's not even taking off.
Yeah, we have one of those already. It's called JFK.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that Spirit Airlines? Every flight?
Right.
But,
Okay, John just relogged in so he could be right at the bottom of our pyramid here.
Okay.
John, you just missed all of the excitement of the filters.
We've been doing all of this stuff with the filter.
Oh shit! Look at that.
You missed all of the excitement.
Look at that.
We should all have the masks on. That's it. We gotta
Oh my God. Ben's unicorn head takes them all.
Jewish unicorn. The unicorn.
Yeah, a unicorn.
No, because I'm beautiful, Wiseman.
Look at that shit. Okay, too much time on their hands for these developers, right?
And John's got a moose head.
Yes, but that's here.
Yeah, that's real.
It's
actually here.
Filter.
Is it? Is it?
We don't know. It's 2020. It could be anything.
Hey,
Sorry.
Wiseman, I hear congratulations are in order with your grandbaby. That's amazing, mate.
Yeah, my daughter had a baby about 3 months ago. First grandkid and biting. You know, it's I couldn't get out here right away, but you know, who wants someone hanging around the house with an infant, right? She's 3 months old. It's just it's a fucking miracle, boys. You know, it just really is.
I was telling them about the picture you sent me.
I can't wait.
I told them about the picture you sent me where she's in shock because she was just introduced to her grandfather. She's like,
that same picture I sent to Tracy, and And my niece looks at it and goes, she looks worried.
She looks what?
Worried.
I've seen a
Oh,
few
yeah.
production managers have exactly that same.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
so true.
Like, what is this
Yeah.
guy trying to say? Yeah. So it's all good. So how is everybody? I got kicked off, but I'm back. I don't want to jump in the middle of your subjects, but just want to say hi, and it's good to see you guys. And I see Eric's out there hitting the course and healthy and strong, and everybody's looking good.
Lots of golf.
Yeah,
I'm actually.
Eric calls in on Zoom from an office, but then every other picture that you see of Eric, he's on a golf course, you know?
That's
So it's like,
it's a pop background. He's between holes 8 and 9. He's just stopped for a
this is
minute.
the
He gets the thing up,
background.
kabloof, and does the thing.
He's got a
The
green
back-
screen in his golf cart.
The back of his cart, exactly.
Yeah.
No, life is good. Haley got married, as I think some of you know. We turned it into a tour. We got a tour bus from Hemp Hill.
I thought
People
that was fantastic.
People
John.
couldn't come to the wedding. We took the wedding to the people. It was freaking brilliant. And
Really cool.
you know, we did four events. People got tested. We were smart about it. Nobody got sick. Just hide in your basement and cower in fear and cancel your weddings and cancel your birthdays and cancel everything is bullshit. Just think your way out of it. Don't think way to doing it. Don't panic your way to a point of fear.
Well, I got to tell you, John, I want to jump in on top of that. It's like, you know, people get sick. Viruses happen.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
This thing has just been it's a media feeding frenzy. And, you know, when I look at statistics, and I'm not going to get political at all, but when I look at statistics from the CDC, which is supposed to be the neutral one, and they go, yeah, there's 210,000 deaths. And that's all you hear on TV is there's so-and-so is responsible for 210,000 deaths. And then they go, oh, by the way, 9,000 was from the actual COVID, right? The others were obese or kidney failure, or, you know, there's comorbidity things, etc. But I mean, if they're going to talk about it like that, and this is, of course, asking the media to do their job, but if they're going to talk about it like that, they need to talk about everything like that. Everything needs to be discussed like that, you know? So when they come on and talk, you know, it's funny, you haven't heard about the 70 or 80,000 people that have died from quote unquote the flu.
Well,
right?
that's what I was going to say, is that I saw something the other day that the deaths for 2020 are actually well below 2019. Like,
well, I mean, a lot of that is
dying.
because everybody's wearing masks and hand sanitizing and all of that.
Well, we're home. We're not driving cars. We're not,
right, exactly.
You know.
We're staying at home. You know, my
well,
grandmother.
but on the other side of that is that I heard today that there's people who are getting cancer and not going in for not only treatment, but if they feel something where you would like if you felt ill, you would go to the doctor and the doctor discovers cancer. They won't go to the doctor. The cancer's not discovered until it's way down the road.
Right. Or the doctor's trying to do it on Zoom. Like, hold your phone up to hold your phone to where it hurts.
Yeah. I mean, so you know, it's all got to get into context.
Well,
man.
here's
one death's not good, but people
and
die.
context is the right word, Wiseman. My grandmother used to say, everything that's a blessing is a curse. Everything that's a curse is a blessing. The trick to a happy life is finding the balance between that. And everything can't be all amazing
between them.
or all completely fucked, because nothing is ever all completely amazing or completely screwed up. It's finding the path in the middle there.
It's like getting front row seats to Van Halen when you stood in line and then you get in there and the guy next to you throws up on you for 2 hours.
Yeah, but that guy
just
was
like
you.
that, John. Yeah, it's just like that, John. So last night I went. We bought something on OfferUp and went to the guy's house to pick it up, and the guy wasn't there, but his wife was there, and the 2 kids were there and stuff. Really nice Hispanic lady, super nice. And so she's telling us about all her home renovations, and then she said, you know, we had to take a break from our home renovations for a while because we had COVID. And we said, oh, who had COVID? And she said, well, you know, first I had it, my kids had it, my husband had it, our whole family had it. And unfortunately, my father died from it. But we're very confident that he didn't get it from us. He got it from, you know, somewhere outside, and we're not sure who gave it to who, but I'm very, very confident that he didn't get it because she was obviously, you know, beside herself. Like, did I give my parent COVID and he died? But he was 84 years old, had all kinds, he'd smoked his whole life, you know, typical Cuban guy, smoked his entire life, was relatively really unhealthy, overweight, all of these things, right? And so he died within I think she said a few weeks or something, about 2 months
So
ago.
that was his tipping point.
It pretty much was. I mean, that's the thing. Like, COVID just kind of goes, okay, you know, time's up. Like, I mean, that's what it seems to do.
But so does the flu, and so does a bad cough.
Pneumonia,
I mean,
you know, does the same thing.
I don't know, man, but I tell you how many times I remember as a kid, I thought everyone died of pneumonia because that's what you heard about people in the hospital. Oh, he died of pneumonia. I was like, well, fuck, really? But you catch that in the hospital.
Yeah. So. No, it's amazing, and you know, she just had such a really incredible disposition about the whole thing. You could tell she was still obviously welling up a little bit when she was telling us about her dad, and it was just a really cool moment. You know, we were like, wow, what a nice lady. You know what she's just been through, and so, you know, I mean, bottom line is exactly what you just said, Wiseman, which is, you know, and I've been saying this, unfortunately, to deaf ears for a very long time. We got to rip the frickin' Band-Aid off this thing and just be smart. And unfortunately, like I said earlier today on a message, you know, I think the right tend to be, you know, relatively careless, don't like rules, don't like laws, don't like being told to wear a mask. Correct. The left hate the right, and therefore we can't find the center anymore. We just can't find common sense. And, you know, for me, I know if I'm walking into a crowd, I'm going to try not to hug every single person I'm walking through. I'll probably throw on a mask. And whether or not the mask does anything, I have no idea, but it'll make them feel better, and it might make me feel better. I don't know, and it doesn't.
You know
harm
what?
anybody.
And it's also a common courtesy. And I got to tell you something. You know, we've all traveled the world. They've been wearing these fucking masks in Japan for the last 30 years, and it was commonplace. It was no big deal. Look, I'm anti-mask, but I'm also pro human race and being a decent human being and having some common courtesy, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I flew out here on the plane. And I put on the mask because it's just kind of, I don't enjoy it, but then
same reason you put on pants. Same reason you put on pants. You'd rather sit naked, but other people might be offended, right?
I don't want to intimidate them, you know.
Of course. Wiseman, I've heard a lot of things about you. That's not one of them.
You're talking to the wrong people. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
where does our little friend Featherstones keep fucking going off to? There he is.
Because people keep coming to the office door. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So you know, has anybody heard of? I'd never heard of this artist, but I read the report I read an article today on this guy Niall Horan.
Yeah.
Who's doing a show just to pay his crew.
Nice.
Which I thought was pretty damn cool. He's doing a live show just to give the money to his crew.
You know, I love it when an artist does that because it's such a grand gesture and it's so easy for them to do, right?
Right.
Like the hysteria to the Leper at the tour, they had sold out the Tacoma Dome. It was the last show, right? And they said, I mean, it sold out quick.
Who was it?
And the band it was Def Leppard. And this is at the height of their career, right? And so they sold out Tacoma Dome. What's that? Maybe 25,000. It's a big place.
Yeah.
So they said, fuck it. And they added another show. They split up the gate 100% with crew as a bonus. Brilliant. Because they're going to give them bonuses anyway, you know? Yeah. So do one extra 2.5 hour set. They're already set up. The expenses are pretty much mostly covered.
Yeah.
I like that. That's kind of why I got in the business, to have fun and have friends like this.
I remember when Donnie Carone used to work for James Taylor, and I went out with them for a few shows in Florida. And I was blown away when I saw that the crew stayed where the band stayed. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't the band at the Ritz and the crew at the Holiday Inn. It was
Right.
if the band stayed at the Ritz, the crew stayed at the Ritz.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
kinda nice.
buses, instead of 9 guys on a bus, they had 7 guys per bus or whatever. Like they treated their crew so damn well. And okay, so the band takes $10,000 less a week or whatever, but the crew are the happiest crew on the road. I mean, it's just really cool when
Well,
you see things like that.
that's just being a good human being. If you can afford to do it, it's what you do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
agree with that.
and that's your point, to your point, Wiseman, about doing it just because you can be a decent human. You know, it doesn't have to be a political statement about walking around with a placard on you saying that, I'm making some big stand here. Just be a decent person, treat people with compassion, be smart,
I believe it's actually called the golden rule.
It is called the golden rule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I had that all wrong. Damn it.
You're operating off the copper rule.
No, the golden something, but I had it all mixed up. I just get confused.
Okay.
You know?
There we go.
I get confused as I get older.
Yeah, but you've also moved on from that, Wiseman, because your golden rule used to be don't make anybody else drink anything you wouldn't drink yourself. So,
well, that was pretty easy. Exactly. Right. No, I wouldn't even say drink. It would be ingest.
Yeah, I think ingest is a much better expression. Yeah.
So Ben, what's going on? What's going on in the retail world? I mean, are you doing installations? I mean, I'm doing a remodel right now at my house, and you can't get any appliances. It can't be had. I finally worked my way up the food chain to talking to the guy at General Electric, and he said, "Look, I'm going to be really honest with you. COVID shut us down.
Yeah.
Everybody from the factory went home, and then the world went home, and they all decided that they liked a new kitchen. So we got a tidal wave of orders for an empty factory." And he says, "We're literally a million something pieces behind." Now
that sucks.
That is the construction industry, right? So you and Eric are on the side of the business more that serves like companies like us, but you also serve installations and a whole other side of the world. Because Marcel and I did it when we were at High End and Martin and Very Light and all that, and of course John designs those kind of things. So I'm wondering, like, I'm fucking dead in the water except for the odd live capture or XR studio thing, right? And it's picking up a little bit, and I'm busy, not as busy as I'd like to be actually producing anything, but however I'm doing stuff. What are you guys doing? That's what I want to hear.
Well, two really interesting things. One is if you want to buy one of those chest freezers, I think if you tried to buy it today, you'd get it sometime in around 2023. I was with some people a couple weeks ago who were talking, like, I guess everybody's hoarding meat. And,
all the hunters. Yeah.
And buying appliances. And I even saw it, like, just, walking down the street in my neighborhood. I saw, like, shit getting delivered last week. It's right. You're right. From what I understand, the appliance world is crazy.
Yeah.
And the other big trend we're seeing, and this part of our company is almost functioning like it's 2019. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but music retail, playing people, people are either stuck in their houses. They're picking up their instruments that they haven't, been able to pick, that they're not able to pick up as often as they want.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, part of the sort of making lemonade from lemons of this is we've forged a really strong relationship with NAMM, who have really kind of reached out and are wrapping their arms around the live production side of stuff. But talking to the folks at NAMM, they're like, gosh, we have people who you can't keep stuff on the shelves. Same thing with a friend of mine in Sedona who has a bike shop. He's like, I can't keep a bike in.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got people that are like, I want an adult bike, a mountain bike, road bike, hybrid, e-bike, whatever. I don't care. I just want whatever you get in. And he's like, we can't even get them out of the boxes. They're just right out the door.
So the same thing like in Tahoe, after Labor Day, it shuts down. But now here we are, like a month after Labor Day. You can't rent an e-bike up there because everybody from the Bay Area and all the vacationers just fucking stayed.
Just left. Yeah. So the contiguous to our industry, music retail is doing fantastic.
What about installations, sales and installations?
Yeah, so the the pro AV market, the install market is actually chugging along just fine. I mean, what does Infocom call itself now? Avixa or something like that? Avina, Avixa.
Did they actually change the name of the show? I thought that was just different ownership.
Well, they changed the name of the organization. I don't know if they changed the name of the show.
Oh, I see.
They are saying that the industry is year to date the same place it was in 2019 this year, and they expect growth, right? So the construction, new construction, renovation, all those things are just chugging along the way they're supposed to be. You talk to your theater consultant friends, and they have plenty of work.
Eric, are you selling anything?
We're selling some stuff. I mean, yeah, the retail side of the business is definitely stronger. Our sister company, ADJ, is doing okay. And, the install business is all we're seeing on the elation side. System integrators are very busy, mostly churches. Yeah. And, some theme park business, they're doing some remodels. Some cruise ships are doing some remodels during the downtime right now. That's what we're seeing. I mean, on the production side, I will say, these drive-in events are getting more traction. And, a lot of our guys are buying the IP rated fixtures for these drive-in events if they don't already own them,
We're doing what we can, Eric. We're doing what we can.
Yeah, no, and I mean, one of our sales guys, had to pivot and do some production work. And, he's been on an 8-show tour of these drive-ins, and it's, let's call it B-level acts, but they're putting 1,200 cars in for a night.
Amazing.
They're making money.
And I mean, we're pivoting a ton of our drive-through experiences, as opposed to a drive-in, go in a park and watch something, to drive-through experiences. We got a number of them on the boards. My partner Chris Menvitz and I are working on a number of designs. We've got one that's loading in at the moment with north of 1,000 of Eric's fixtures on it.
I got to imagine that Halloween followed by Christmas and Thanksgiving have got to be great.
Yeah, and I mean, it's to your point, Wiseman, about it doesn't matter where you are on the political spectrum. This is a human condition. I don't want people to be distracted when they're looking at the things we create. I want them to be in the moment, focused on it, and totally engaged with the experience. And if keeping people in their cars makes them feel that they don't have to worry about, well, I don't want to wear a mask. Are they going to make me wear a mask? That person's not wearing a mask. And my kid's too close to their kids. I'm touching the handrail. Who else touched it? And all of that is this kind of situational distraction thing. People are safe and comfortable in their cars, then they're going to enjoy the experience better. So I think
the local mall where I live, it's all indoor mall. So what they've done is they've turned their parking lot into drive-in movies at night.
Yeah, Walmart was doing that too. I heard a lot about it, but I don't know if it ever.
So I hate to tell you guys, but I just read today that all of our movie theaters are opening tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised at some point in the next couple of months if we announce like a major music festival here. I wouldn't be shocked at all. I mean, because
something down by the bay.
Dolphins were approved for 55,000 fans.
Yeah, has that happened yet? I know. I read it was approved.
Well, the next game is Sunday. They're selling tickets still for Sunday. So I don't know how many fans they're planning to get in, but because I used to be a season ticket holder for 20 some odd years until I gave them up to my ex-wife. And but I still get the emails. And
you get the emails saying what fun she had in your seats.
Pretty much, yeah. Here's pictures of you not being at the game. But yeah, they were approved for 25 or 55,000. And again, they're playing the Jets on Sunday, so I would expect that they're going to be selling a lot of tickets because although the Jets are really not that good this year. Sorry, Ben.
New York versus Florida, baby.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but the funny thing about the Jets and the Dolphins is like when the Jets come here, they could go 1-15 as long as they beat the Dolphins. That's like their Super Bowl. We just got to beat the Dolphins. That's it. Yeah. So I like, but here's the weird thing. You would expect that it's just.
Oh, there's just one weird thing?
No, but everyone. See, here's the thing. People in California, people in liberal states, California, New York, tend to think that we're just crazy in Florida and we're not careful and we're just running around hugging people and licking doorknobs and stuff. But honestly, I feel like it's pretty safe here still, you know, like it's not, I don't have any Florida friends who have gotten sick, put it that way. So, you know, and I have a few friends here.
Well, but you know,
I
I don't
know,
want to go back to the good old days, but I remember being in elementary school in like 5th or 6th grade or something, and half the class would be out with the flu. It wasn't that
yeah,
fucking weird.
no, no, it wasn't that weird. And by the way, it's still the same. You know, it's
Yeah.
still the same. Like I remember when my son first went to school, you know, he was sick every third week with some sort of flu that he was bringing home and giving to
They're
his
little
parents.
germ factories. We should just bring them home and just boil them the minute they walk through the front door.
Well,
Hose them
they
down.
pick each other's noses and stuff. You know, it's like, come on.
Nice.
Oh, but yeah, it said like a true father of boys, huh?
Yeah,
That's icky.
exactly, exactly. But yeah, I mean, you know, I won't say that it feels normal here, but you can eat in pretty much any restaurant you want to. The one holdout that we had here was this Indian restaurant that I like to eat at called Gandhi, and I ate there last night. It reopened last week. They were just doing.
Have they
You know,
seen pictures of
pickup.
Gandhi? That's not a great name for a restaurant.
I was gonna say,
I was
Yeah.
trying to do that math in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
All right,
true,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
Name
So-
a restaurant after.
so as you're looking at as I'm looking at you know, what Ben's doing, what Eric's doing, what John's doing, what you're up to, Marcel, you know, kind of the activity that's going on in our side of the business, and the thing that strikes me is how stunningly lucky that we all are to live in a country of such massive wealth that we can get knocked down like this, and yet 80% of it keeps going. I mean, it's stunning. It's stunning. It's amazing the economic strength of the United States, and how even with this absolute punch in the face, you know, unemployment's at 7.5% ish, something like that. When I heard that number, I was like, oh my God. I mean, that's not great, but you know,
It's shocking. Considering.
It's shocking. It should be at 50. You know?
No, I was shocked by that number too.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I have a moment of
that's part of the problem.
Gratitude.
That's part of the problem why your industry is getting such challenge, getting noticed and understood,
Right.
that we're
I
struggling.
think you're right.
Yeah, because
because-
we have an unemployment rate in our industry, from what I've heard from Michael Strickland. You know,
80%.
you know, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who I, as far as I'm concerned, we should all be clubbing together to buy Michael the biggest Knights of Illumination sword and have a fucking sculpture of him cast in bronze that we have outside of like LDI and every other event. That guy is incredible.
He's been doing some heavy lifting,
and
He's just done a good job.
He's
He's
unrelenting.
relentless.
Yeah, our unemployment rate is what was it? He said high 70s, I think, in the entertainment industry as a whole. It's criminal.
Look,
So-
I should be unemployed. I'm not.
Don't say that too
contributing-
loud, John.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like, look, it just seems crazy. You know, just the
You know,
whole
it's funny.
thing.
I was talking to Jerry this morning. He said the same thing. So Featherstone, what do you
He's
think
afraid
about
to
what's
fire
going
me.
on? What do you think about what's going on in the UK right now, where they today or yesterday or whenever they announced it, but I think tonight they locked down again, right?
I think people are going to burn the city to the ground in London, and
Wow.
and I don't really blame them. I think what people are looking for is coherent policy. You know, it's like, I may not agree with what you say, but just tell me what we need to do, and I'll do it. You know,
the whiplash doesn't work.
the whiplash is insane, and anything that you look at, any kind of economic model, public health model, people's mental health issues, the whiplash is just insane. If you think locking it down is the way to do it, and as the leader of a country, that's your imperative, lock the place down and be done.
Yeah, just do
If
it.
you think it should be all open, have it be all open. You know, I mean, you know, we were talking about London. You know, Winston Churchill said, you know, that leadership is an exercise in irritating as few people as possible. But you're still going to irritate some people. So just pick a course. This whole on, off, up, down, it's debilitating. And for
You know what, John? I think
politicians-
the biggest mistake they make with the on, off, and all that kind of stuff is it defies logic. Okay, So I think people would get on board with, look, we're going to shut down for 90 days. We're going to have a stimulus package so everyone can pay their bills. We're going to get through this together. You make it simple, right? But what these guys do is they dissect it down to a undeliverable product where you're going to do 25% in restaurants. You can't go to church, but you can go and fill a fucking supermarket. And so, the general human being is going, hold on a second. None of this adds up. None of it adds up. So fuck all of it.
Right.
That's the problem.
And Wiseman, you're right. We spent not a small amount of time and not a small amount of money coming up with reasonable policies for the events that we're doing, like the Morton Arboretum thing we're doing with Scott Folby and the ILC gang in Chicago. 40 guys, up to 40 guys on site, working there for several months, a big group, and talking to the public health experts that we've talked to. The guys that I really gravitated to, there was one who said, here's the best policy, the one people will do. A easy to understand, simple, consistent policy that people will stick to, which basically is wear a mask, wash your hands. It is absolutely bad. You can make up all these complex asinine rules, and people do just what you're saying, Wiseman. They look at it like, you guys are idiots. I'm not doing any of this.
Yeah.
So they don't do the stuff that does work because you're making them do stupid stuff that nobody knows whether it works.
It makes your mind explode because they try to drive down all these fine lines. And custom make it. It doesn't work.
But here's something that I've seen is or that I feel anyways. England, to me, had an easier go at the first part of COVID because, and I don't remember exactly, but Featherstone, maybe you remember or but they were paid, I think it was 80% of their income from the government.
Yeah.
If you were furloughed, you were paid 80% of your income. And so everyone was still pretty happy, pretty copacetic. Everything was okay. Life was good. I wouldn't say people were dancing in the streets in our industry.
But they didn't think they were going to lose everything they've worked for 40 years.
Well, then came October 1st. And honestly, I'm talking to British people every day, and there's mass depression and mass frustration and they just
that's just being British.
They ramped up the rhetoric. No, but I know. The rhetoric has full on ramped up now.
That's what I mean, Marcel. People are going to riot in the streets because of a lack of a coherent policy about what's going on.
And the government. When I'll give you an example that this just blew my mind. So when we did our round of furloughs. So we laid off all the contract guys immediately because all the shows died, right? Then there was a huge chunk of people that were furloughed. A lot of those people were in California for PRG, right? So I get a phone call about a month ago from an HR lady, and she just says, look, I'm just giving you a heads up. These people that are on furlough in California, which being on furlough means basically you're off pay, but we keep you on our health insurance policy, okay? But you're also allowed to apply for unemployment. You're also allowed to get the stimulus package and every benefit you can get as if you were completely laid off. However, we pay your health policy for you and your family. So at the end of 6 months, in the middle of all this shit going on in the world, the state of California says, well, you have to terminate their employment permanently after 6 months. You can only furlough someone for 6 months. And we're like, hold on a second. You want us, who we're willing to keep these people, we're willing to help them, you want us to now take away their health insurance policy in the middle of a fucking health crisis? The answer is yes. So we had to go from furlough with benefits to complete utter termination. Them, if they had 6 or 8 or 10 vacation days, and send them on the road. Where is that logic? What asshole thinks that's okay?
I know who it is.
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Disney made those same choices. Everybody's having to make those choices.
Yeah, but
not choices.
It's not a choice. That's my point. It's not a choice. The choice was we're going to protect the people that have helped us build this business. We're doing everything we can to get this back, and we're also willing to go deeper into debt to help them be healthy. and these motherfuckers make us cut it off.
Well, and
so
the problem is,
when that's your leadership, who's going to follow that?
But smart rich people are leaving California in droves now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, you know, Joe Rogan, pretty liberal California, you know, star kind of guy,
He's the tip of the iceberg.
Tens of millions of dollars in a LA recording studio that he has, picked his whole business up and moved it to Austin, Texas, you know?
Yeah.
And is so much happier for it, and now just pokes over at California and goes, "You're a bunch of idiots over there."
Well, and tax revenue in San Francisco is down 42%.
Oh my God! Wow,
40.
That's going to become the next problem.
Well, no, that is the tip of the iceberg on where, you know, the left and the right can't get together, because the right says, look, we want to send stimulus to the people and help them out, blah, blah, blah. And the left is saying, that's great, but you got to include San Francisco and Los Angeles and New York. You got to bail these cities out. And the right's going, fuck no. They did it to themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones letting people shit in the street. No, the answer is no. And I don't know if any of you guys Ben, I'm sure you see it, but I got to tell you, every time I'm in Los Angeles and San Francisco, I am stunned by just how the homeless are treated with complete disrespect and allowed to live like that, which is completely disrespectful to the rest of the population. It's these motherfuckers don't know how to lead.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know how to lead, and they don't know how to do it with strategy. I mean, we've got five business people on this thing, and I don't know about you guys, but I just want some idea of where we're going. What's the plan? What are we doing together as an economy, as a country, as a planet to get through this? What are the metrics? Wait, tell me what I got to do. You want me to paint my head blue? I'll paint my fucking head blue.
Yeah, we wouldn't walk into a load-in with 5 different ideas. It'd be
well, I mean, stranger things have probably happened. But you know what I mean?
But Featherstone, here's the thing. And sorry for calling you by your last name, but it's just easier than John 1 and John 2.
Yeah.
Because I think it's disrespectful calling people by their last name, except Wiseman.
I've been Wiseman forever.
But you know, this is the difference, and I hate to get political here, but this is the basic difference between someone who is sort of right of center and someone who's either just left of center or far left of center, is the idea that I want to wait for the government to give me a plan. All I want to do is I want the government to stay the hell out of my way and let me execute my own plan
too, Marcel. That's a plan.
But I
too.
want them to let me execute my own plan.
But
that's all. I want to know
too.
from the health people what is really going on, and other than that, I don't want any involvement. Leave me alone.
Well, we accept things from the government, and we all fall in line, like traffic laws and you know just basic you don't get to shoot somebody down the street. I mean, those kind of things become ingrained in society, and they just can't seem to figure out how to come up with a simple plan. And you know what, when you say you hate to get into politics, nobody on this call wants to talk politics, but guess what, it's all fucking political right now. It's all political controlling us now. Yeah, it's all political.
Yeah.
Ben does. Okay, Ben, let's go.
Come on, Ben. What you got?
No.
When are we going to go to another trade show?
Well,
I thought it was interesting.
LDI is supposed to be next week, right?
I feel like I got an email last week or 2-3 weeks ago that ProLight had officially announced dates for next April. So we'll see.
That's going to be interesting because it's going to be the first show officially back in that convention center.
Are they doing flights to Europe yet? I don't know.
I don't know what all the rules are, but Chris Ferrante, who's the CEO of Ayrton, had been hunkered down in Texas for like 6 months because he's got a house there. And a month ago, he went to France. Now, he's an EU citizen, so I don't know what the rules are. He took a test at this end. He landed in the airport. He took a test at that end. Test came back negative, and he went to work on Monday.
Yeah, I think you just have to quarantine for
48
until you
hours.
get
Yeah,
the test.
it depends on where you are. In the UK, you have to
Depends on the
quarantine for
country, right?
14 days. In France, you can do a test and
Well,
circumvent some of the
well,
quarantine.
I mean, the Canadian border is still closed. Now, John, you're going to Dubai in December. So am I, actually. I'm going to go over there for New Year's Eve. I haven't even investigated it. What do you?
Oh, for the you going for the Kiss show?
Yeah,
No, that's going to be epic.
yeah.
It's easy. You have to have a test here before you go. Take the result with you. They might ask you to do another test at the airport. But the guys I've been talking to over there are like, you know, as I said in the message this morning, they're like, you go to an office building, like a big multi-tenant office building. There's a testing station in the lobby. You roll in there, they test you. Great. Off you go.
For me, the biggest challenge is,
and this is where I am going to get fucking political, is if our government had put the strength of, for instance, the U.S. Army behind testing, I don't know, back in March, perhaps we could have, all been at work right now.
We'd be doing shows. I guarantee. They're doing shows in Dubai. Everybody gets tested.
But the problem is the testing that we had in March wasn't sufficient to do that. Like, we didn't have 5-minute, 10-minute. The problem, part of the problem
maybe if
is
they
the
had
FDA.
dedicated some resources to figuring it out.
Part of the problem is the FDA. Again, it's the government that is running these businesses, right? The government is useless when it comes to running a business. So the FDA takes months to approve a pretty simple medical procedure like a test, where they're already using it in Germany, they're already using it in wherever. It's like what's it called? PRP. Platelet-rich plasma.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I've
any of you guys.
I've had it.
I've done it twice for tennis
on my
elbow,
shoulder.
Right?
Yeah,
I had it on one of my shoulders.
Oh, that's
too.
that shit they put in your joints. Yeah.
They take blood out of you. They spin it in a centrifuge, and then they put it back into you.
Oh wait, does it make your hair grow? Hang on a second.
Apparently
not. I don't think that works. But the thing is, in Europe, PRP is covered by insurance. It's a generally accepted procedure for years now. Athletes especially have been doing it forever.
Kobe Bryant was leading that, and he got it in
Here
Germany.
You got to pay cash for it. Here you got to pay. You can go to a clinic and pay cash for it. It's like $1,000 or something to get PRP because the FDA won't approve it yet. I mean, it's the simplest, most straightforward procedure.
But you know what, guys, and Ben, your comment about
guys and Ben.
Well, no.
Whoa,
I didn't mean that.
You got to break out your,
where's my unicorn?
Yeah.
Right.
So the unicorn, Ben.
So looking backwards is always crystal clear, and you say, why didn't they deploy the army and blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. So here's the problem. They didn't have the vaccine. It hadn't worked. It was a brand new disease. It came out of nowhere. It came out of left field. Okay, but the other part about it that was crushing is that everybody. If I hear follow the science one more fucking time, I'm gonna throw up, because guess what? The science changes their fucking mind when they get new information. So you can't you're not like a droplet of science doesn't come in and you just follow that to the end. It changes. You got scientists saying, don't wear masks, do wear masks. Your study came out a week ago. 84% of the people who had COVID wore masks every day. So, this follow the science crap, whatever happened to flatten the curve? What happened to flatten the curve, get the hospitalization under control, get the ventilators under control, all of that was supposed to take a month. Okay. We're now 8 months into this shit. So looking back on it and saying that, I have to kind of disagree with you, Ben, because they didn't really know what it was. I don't think.
I think if you can filter out all the noise, and yes, as they learned more, it changed. Right. So
every day
first
it
was,
still does.
Nobody said wear masks until they learned that masks were really important. Right. And
Ben, you say if you can filter out the noise, it's all noise. Like, it's like, what's the British saying? If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, or something.
But then you're wearing the wrong.
I have to say, I've never heard anybody in England say that, but I'm gonna seed that in the English population.
Well, it was an English person who said it to me. Put it that way.
Okay, that's absolutely brilliant.
That sounds Australian, actually.
Yeah. Well, if. I mean, the thing is, if you could get rid of the noise, that we wouldn't be here. It'd be the flu. I mean, we had bird flu, we had N1H1, we had all these different.
Look, I think this is
viruses.
I think this is a completely different animal if it's not an election year. flat out.
Yeah.
I just really think, I mean, I just really think it is.
Yeah. I don't completely disagree with you.
I just got a note to turn on my screen. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. Something,
Now, Marcel, Eric wants to show something, but you have to turn
I
it on the
am
screen.
doing it right now.
You have to do
I'm
it.
doing it right now. I just did. There you
Oh,
go.
wait, hold on. This better not be a picture of your aunt with balls.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Screenshotting that. I'll put it back up again.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I'll
man,
message
I got to
it to
take a
you.
picture of that.
Yeah. Oh, you can do that with a computer? I had no idea.
I think
No,
actually,
I'm going to pick my phone up and take a pic. I don't know, maybe.
isn't this what science in the US, this is their motto? You know, since March,
I mean,
we're
and that's
probably on about W right now.
But,
And
but
that's-
the other thing as well is we have to remember that absolutes are incredibly hard. Absolutism is not a concept that you can often get scientists of any discipline to acknowledge. That you know, it's all in variables and percentages and statistics. And frankly, they call it practicing medicine for a reason. Because,
you're right.
because it's not perfected, and I think there's a middle ground here to everybody getting on board with an evolving understanding and knowledge of a new condition that I think we're going to look back at and go, wow, this profiled in ways we couldn't even begin to imagine. And
it's changing too, you know.
But that's where governments, and I mean this across the entire spectrum, because it wouldn't matter whether it was a blue, red, pink, purple, or green government in the States. Nobody has the balls to stand up and say, we don't really know what's going on. We're going to tell you what we think, but we might change our mind if we get better data next week. Everybody wants to talk in absolutisms and like they have the plan and this is the way it is.
And that's what got me started about follow the science. And when I hear follow the science, it's like, you know what?
Well, you follow the science, you're following it like this because that's what science does.
Let me tell you something really stupid. So the guy who runs Gear Source in Singapore, Don Chan, he's moved into a new building, and they're doing a grand opening tomorrow, which is almost today right now.
Yeah.
And they're only allowed 5 people at their grand opening celebration that they're doing tomorrow. That's the rules.
Wow.
5 people. Like, I don't understand why 5. You know, if you have 8, does suddenly everybody get sick? If you have 9, you know, now you're completely screwed.
Yeah, everybody's head
4 is good. 5 is pretty good. 6, forget that.
6 is just nausea.
Yeah, that's just
that's the flatten the curve part, right? It's risk mitigation. There's no risk elimination. It's risk mitigation.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you said, why didn't they bring out the military and start vaccinating everything in March? It's like, that doesn't make any sense because.
No. That's not what I said.
Okay.
What I said was start developing testing.
Well, I think they probably did.
And then,
Oh, I'm positive they did. There's a huge amount of money to be gained there.
Right.
But the FDA is ridiculous. You know, the FDA is.
Yeah, but they suspended all those rules. They let all that stuff come through at 100 miles an hour that they haven't done before.
Well, and so they're kind of doing what you thought they should do, in my opinion. I don't know.
It's not happening as fast as you'd like, but
from
my opinion, that's because of regulation. That's because of regulation and the FDA.
Hey,
you know,
you ever wait for your Coke dealer to hit your hotel room at 2 in the morning?
If this is happening and I haven't heard about it, I apologize. But I haven't heard anything about anybody harnessing manufacturing in the United States to build to develop tests, to build tests, right? So there are tests, right? If everyone who can go into the White House can get a 15-minute test every day, why can't my kid get that at school?
Well, I had a long conversation with Strickland about exactly this topic because Michael sits on the board of a very large hospital.
Yes. Right.
And we've had instant testing for a long time. It just hasn't been approved yet. And so I think by the time we're talking right now, it has been approved. But, you know, it took forever. We have so much red tape in this stupid country of ours at times.
The regulations and the bureaucracy, you know,
it just makes things really hard. Well,
they put it in there to protect us, you know, but there's also at a certain point, you know, you you got to let a couple kids get hit by a car. They got to learn, you know.
Well,
So
it's like you know, Obamacare, whether it's good or bad. I couldn't believe that it cost, what was it, $55 billion or something to set up the website.
And that was
for
just
Obamacare.
Lightswitch that paid that.
I mean,
Don't get me started on Obamacare or ACA.
No. I'm not putting it down or saying it's great.
Oh,
or saying it's bad.
I am. We'll do a whole. We can do a whole thing, and I'll tell you how.
But I remember the
my business.
55. Was it $55 billion that they spent on the delivery program?
$5 billion, and then the website did not work.
And then but how do you spend $5 billion on a website? Like, what I said was, give that process to Google, and it'll not only be free, it'll be fast, it'll be really efficient and effective. It'll work perfectly if you. And I'm not a lover of Google right now, by the way, but goddamn, you want a website?
Here we go.
We're aware of that, Marcel.
Yeah. And another thing.
Yeah. Another thing is right.
The guy that developed, you know, the $5 billion website lives here now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
really?
see that.
Yeah.
Is that
your golf cart?
Is that Epstein's island?
He lives in your golf cart? That's funny.
So, you know, you talking about the government and inefficiencies and whatnot. That's why I'm one of the things I liked about the current administration is they got rid of a lot of regulations and red tape. You know, things that have just come in from way 36,000 feet above to tell John Featherstone how to run his business in a Chicago suburb and in San Francisco, right? A lot of these things, these fucking do-gooders they go too far. Like I was a really, really intelligent guy that I had the pleasure to work with off and on for many, many years, named Barry Claxton.
I love Barry.
He's just one of the best, right?
Yeah, he is.
You know, but we're on completely opposite sides of the spectrum. And we were talking about, this was before Obama was elected, and we were sitting in my office, and he worked for me. I think it was a Chaos. And I said, we were talking about the pros and cons, and I said, look, I'll just get it down to the common denominator. My taxes were my federal taxes were 39.5%. Okay. My state taxes were 13.3%. Okay. Then I bought a car and I paid a luxury tax and I paid a gas guzzler tax. And then I paid tax and I said, at the end of the year, at the end of the day, you know, Barry, I'm not seeing a fucking dime that I'm working for and gambling my house and all my money and everything else for until around the middle of September. Okay. And I said, so now your guy wants to come in and take my rate from 36 back to 39. And I said, I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. And I said, and it's nothing against him. It's the fact that if my daughter's allowance was $10 and she spent $30 a month, I wouldn't just go give her another $30. And, you know, you can't just, it never ends, right? So the government doesn't spend our money correctly. And there's no one that will disagree with that. The waste is incredible. And now they want to take me from 36 to 39. And it fucking pisses me off. I'm telling Barry this, right? And I said, so your guy, no matter what you think of him or not. And I said, if he wins, he's my president. I'm going to root for him all the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I said, but if he comes in and he takes me from 36 to 39 and a half, I'm firing 2 people and I'm going to work harder and keep the money. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah. I said, that's just the way it's going to go. He goes, well, how are you going to decide who to fire? Now he's in the personal. And I said, me? And I said, be real easy for me, Barry. He goes, how are you going to decide?
We're going to do it alphabetically, starting in the B's.
No.
Were you the one who went to the parking lot and looked?
Yes. Yeah, I did one better. I did one better. And you know, Barry, he's a smart guy, right? I said, Barry, it's really fucking simple, man. I'm going to walk around the parking lot and the first 2 Obama stickers I see on the cars, I'm going to fucking fire those guys.
Yeah, I remember when you told me that, and that had to be 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and of course I was
that.
Joking, but it was trying to make a point. It was like,
I thought you were serious. I actually did it.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
I thought John says this is a good idea, so I went and did it.
No, Barry outworked me 3 to 1, so I couldn't do that. But at the end of the day, it's like the thing about the government, Republican, Democrat, whatever it is, I am tired of giving them fucking money and them wasting it.
Well, and guess what? It ain't going away anytime soon. So I want to get off of this government thing, and I know everybody's got things to do, but let me just go around the horn here quickly. And Eric, you happen to be in the top left corner of my screen right now. So any thoughts on just, going forward, anything people, businesses, et cetera, can do? I know one of the things we're all going to talk about, you, me, and Ben anyways, is putting together this happy hour for next week for the Circle Bar happy hour thing. John Featherstone, I don't know if you even heard about that, but we're doing a Circle Bar Zoom thing for LDI, because
I'll be
next
happy
Friday
to
would have
not
been.
go to your Circle Bar Zoom like I was always happy to not go to the Circle Bar. But if you want to do the nice, quiet, bougie bar at the Wynn Zoom call,
Yeah.
I'll certainly join that.
Yeah, that's not what we're going to do, but that's a good idea too. Maybe you could do that sleepy bar at the Zoom and we'll do the fun one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But any ideas, Eric, on, like I'm constantly talking to businesses, to individuals, just sometimes just talking them off the cliff. Sometimes it's, how can I save my business? Have you got any ideas? Like I won't mention his name, but one owner that we all know of a rental company called me this week and he said, Marcel, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to feed my family. I don't know how to pay my rent. I don't know how to, like he said, basically he's a small company and he said, I got about $6 million in inventory that was worth $6 million last year that I owe about 3 million on, and it's now worth about 2 million. What do I do?
Wow.
What do I do right now? How long do I hold on to this thing? And I'm obviously earning no money from it. And so, I know I'm kind of setting you up here, Eric, but any amazing words?
The hard or the challenging part for me is because I do talk to people all over the country, right? And it really is fragmented depending who you talk to, because there are some people working in Florida and doing shows and getting people back to work, and Texas, the same thing. And, let's say the South has been very active with the church market. And so it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss, but I think we are all hopeful that things after the election will start to loosen up more, that after the new year, things will start to loosen up more. And, I think just keep the hope that, what's hardest for me is the freelancers. They are really struggling right now. The business owners, yeah, it's tough. And, it's, do I sell gear? There's been some liquidations of gear that have gone okay. There's been some that haven't gone well. I think if you can hold out and just ride it through here a little bit longer, I think we're going to see things turn around, and I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think we just have to say, well, your guess is as good as mine. It's just.
So Wiseman, what about you? Do you got any famous last words here?
Well, I mean, basically everything that Eric just said, it's if you write it out, eventually it's going to turn around. For me, it's like trying to figure out when that is, I believe that this thing is a problem. I believe it's a serious disease. I believe it's been politically blown way the hell out of proportion. I think the election is going to have a big difference, no matter who wins. I think that's gonna focus the mainstream media on some other problem somewhere else, right? And then I'm hoping that January actually projects will start funding and building and getting ready for June 2021. Now, Live Nation made a statement that they expected to be back in June 2021. So when the world's largest promoter, that's, those guys know a lot more than we do, and they're in deeper debt than all the rest of us. When they're saying 2021, and they're telling their investors that, and they're publicly traded, and they got the Saudis behind them now. I really think that, I pray and I truly believe that in 2021, this is all going to be a real bad memory.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Exactly. Ben, we got.
Yeah. So what Live Nation said was that they expect to resume relatively normal operations around the summer of 2021, right? So they're, everybody's hedging everything. They don't know. And I think that, what I've been trying to focus on is the unpredictability and the uncertainty are overwhelming right now. and like your brain just can't even process the 27 what if scenario, or I guess, what was it, Eric? There's the 25 extra plans after plan A. You can't even
Right.
fucking, your brain just can't fucking do it.
It's
So,
depressing.
so, you stick with the facts on the ground. You try to turn off worrying about tomorrow's circumstances. And, the number of decisions we're having to make right now are, is greater than ever before. And just, stay focused on those decisions. And,
Yeah.
and again, I'm just going to put in a plug here for what we said back in March. I don't know if it was March or April, but remember, there is a day 91 coming, and maybe it's going to be day 366. I don't know, but don't stop thinking about what that's going to look like for you or for your company or whatever, and make sure that you're focusing your energy on ending up where you want to end up, and not just allowing
Completely
yourself to
agree.
bob along in the water and, oh shit, look where I ended up. I don't like this. So, shut out
we're all leaders in our business, and we all get asked a lot. I mean, the only thing I can say to guys that call, and I get a lot of calls, is I just say, look, I don't know. I'm going to be ready when it comes back. But at the end of the day today, I know that we're one day closer to getting back to work. And that's all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Featherstone.
Yeah, I think there's a few things I would throw out. One is let's celebrate everybody's victory. I don't care who it is that's doing a show, that's figured out a pivot, that's come up with a way to get entertainment in front of people, that's got a band playing in the pickup truck in the middle of a cornfield in Iowa. I don't care. Celebrate everybody's victories. We're an industry that eats its young. Stop it. We're all in this together. Celebrate victories. When you get an email from Michael Strickland, respond to it, and do it right then. There is few things I can think of more important than engaging with this leadership that Michael and a bunch of other people have shown for our industry. Do it right away. Send it to your friends. And keep the hope. Much like the thing from Live Nation, we've got some really smart clients with super deep pockets, and they're starting to plan shows for end of second, beginning of third quarter next year. And I think when it takes off, it's going to be like a bottle rocket. Now, all of us, I have a spreadsheet I do with our operations director, Matt, every week. And we're looking at how can we stretch this rubber band far enough to get there. But this will be behind us. And Wiseman, I think you're absolutely right. By the end of next year, I think this is going to be largely a distant memory. But we need to be mindful of the people that are still going to have wounds financially, physically, and emotionally coming out of this, and support them, and give them what they need to. Let's continue to remain positive and optimistic, celebrate victories, lockstep to try and get assistance from the government, and have hope.
Agreed. So John, you just said something about celebrating victories, and the funny thing is, I do this happy hour that you refuse to come to, and I understand why. Every Wednesday, and the rest of us on the call have been to many, if not most, or all of them.
All right, I'll start showing up. Jesus.
No. I'm not guilting you at all, because it's just not like that. If you want to come. If you don't want to come, it's like a drop-in center for addicts. We're not forcing you to be there.
Yeah,
not that I've ever been to a drop-in addiction center, but the point is, people are afraid to come on that call sometimes and say that they've got work. And I'm constantly really promoting that with people. I'm saying, come on, talk about it. That's a positive thing. And they're like, well, no, because my friends are down, and
but
I don't want to upset them.
But people need good news. People need good news. Of course.
No, this is how I look at it. We got to celebrate.
100%.
I don't care if there's two guitar players playing at your neighbor's barbecue and four people sitting around drinking Budweiser. Let's celebrate that. If you hung up 2 par cans for it, let's celebrate it, And
you know what, Marcel, on that good news thing, I want to share real quickly. There was an article that I read this morning that I had tears in my eyes, and it's a human story. There was a kid that was in high school, and he got in a car accident, and he got paralyzed from the waist down. And he was apparently going to be a good football player. His senior year, the kids are playing football this week, right? And his senior year, the coach got together with the other coach, and at the end of the game, they put the kid in, they picked him up out of his wheelchair, gave him the ball, and both teams walked him across the goal line.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool. We got to get back to that.
Yeah.
We got to get back to that.
We're so far from that. So, and Eric, you said something about, freelancers are hurting worse than businesses and stuff like that. I don't agree with that, and I hate to disagree with you, but the problem is, like Ben, like you, Eric, like you, John Featherstone, and even John Wiseman, even though you work for PRG, you're responsible for a lot of people. So a freelancer has to worry about, one income. I have to worry about everyone's income, not just my own, but everyone's income around me. And so, I think both are equally in the shit, because a freelancer, I think a freelancer maybe in some cases has more options available to him. He can go get a job at Amazon or at something, even as much as that sucks. I can't go get a job at Amazon to feed my 20 employees or whatever. That just doesn't work, right? So, it's hard for everyone. I mean, this is really a shitty situation. And Ben, like you said, day 91 is coming. And what I'm setting my own businesses up for is that moment. I'm not setting them up so that I can live in shit. I'm setting them up so that the day we climb out of this pile of shit, it's like a big blue sky. Oh, 100% we will. And I know I'll be ready for it. And I know the 4 other people.
It's taking a little bit longer than I think it should, but okay.
Yeah. Well, there's somebody that all of us know who, and a number of years ago, lost their son. And we all kind of rallied around, and he said, you guys are my friends, and I fell in a hole and you jumped in the hole with me. But what I need you to do now is get out of the hole and help me out of the hole. And I think that's what we need to be doing with each other. And no survivor's guilt, none of that stuff.
No.
Let's help each other out of the hole by saying, look, we did this. You're a smart person. You can do this too.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day and doing this with me again. And it's so nice to catch up with all of you.
Yeah, it's been too long. It's good.
Yeah. Thanks for spearheading this, Marcel.
Yeah, absolutely.
No worries, man. Have an enjoyable weekend, gentlemen.
You too. Love you, crazy buggers. All right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.